pick you up and then just fly away. Then come back to reality. You could do much worse than me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. The satisfaction is guaranteed. You count on me. Oh, so you think that I'm not strong enough to keep you satisfied? But when it comes to my love, you'll find it stronger than kryptonite. Gotta come back to reality. You can do much worse than me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. And the satisfaction is guaranteed. You can count on me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. And your satisfaction is guaranteed. Guaranteed. Count on me. Count on me. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of action. I'll be there to protect you. I will never neglect you. I'm a man of action. And the satisfaction is guaranteed. It's guaranteed. Count on me. You count on me.
And welcome to It Matters Radio. I'm your host, Monica Brinkman, and if this is the first time that you've come to the show, I want to invite all of you to please, please, please come back again and again because we present the best music, not only from the U.S., but around the world. And if you've noticed, this is my little brat, Punky. It's Punky the cat. She thinks she's a diva and has to
Big
be with
diva.
us. Yes. And I'd also like to introduce you to Carrie, our co-host.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It Matters.
Now, Carrie, I see that you have a wonderful guest sitting here with us. Could you introduce him, please?
Yes, I am delighted to introduce Patrick Hunt of the great band World5, and their music is called pop rock with a global influence. And I think that's just a great title for the music. Patrick, welcome to It Matters.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. It's good to see
Yeah.
Yeah,
It is so nice to see you. It's been way too long, you know.
yes, it has.
You're fabulous, and everybody, you just heard the music we played. Wasn't that fantastic?
Absolutely.
And
Love the songs. So, World5, I love the title, number one, World5. How did that get started? How did your band get started?
Well, I got a call from Ray in 2012. The band started before I was in it, actually. And there had been some changes made after their last album. And through our bass player, Randy Miller, who produced their first album, recommended me to take over the piano singing slot in the band. And so Ray and I kind of went back and forth a little bit. And so I said, okay, yeah, we'll give it a shot. And so then Randy joined the band soon afterwards, the bass player. lives in Austin. Randy Miller, who's a 4-time Grammy Award winner, 14 times nominated engineer and producer. And matter of fact, he just did a special for that he produced for Christopher Cross and Friends that with Mike McDonald and Mike Love of the Beach Boys. So
how wonderful.
his stock is soaring right now. Anyway, he recommended me, and then he joined the band. And then my friend Joe Gavito, who we have a very long history in the studio with, going back to 1978 when I produced the Mickey Gilley album, One and Only, and he was on that, and he's been on almost every project I've done since, Johnny Nash and pretty much everybody, including my past projects and stuff as well.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So, didn't you and Randy first produce their first album? Is that correct? Their first album?
He produced the first album. I was not aware. I didn't know much about them, and then after they asked me, I started kind of looking into it. But Randy did produce their very first album, and that's kind of how I got involved.
Wow, that's just great. So you guys, you chat and come together electronically, basically, and I believe that in the bio said it was originally spread out over 5 countries. How did you guys do that? I mean, how do you meld? How do you meld electronically? I guess
technology. We couldn't do this 10 years ago, and right now we're 5 people living in 3 countries in 4 cities. So we communicate basically by email or make message occasionally. Ray, who lives in Sweden, and I Skype from time to time. It's Stefan, who lives in New Zealand. We Skype from time to time. But mainly, we just trade WAV files. And I co-wrote 9 of the songs on the album, so I provide a lot of the content up front. And then, it's a challenge. It's why it's taken 3.5 years to do this. To have a drummer in Sweden with completely different musical style than someone that was raised in the Deep South on, singing Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett and the Temptations, and then he lives in Avaland. So it's just 2 different styles, things that we had to learn how to talk to each other musically. We're having a conversation. What does this conversation look like? Well, we don't know each other very well, so we're going to have to have that conversation until we get comfortable. And so that's why it's taken so long.
Wow. Well, you have a great new CD, and it's called Heartbeat of the World. Let's talk a little bit about that, because there are some wonderful songs on that new CD.
Well, the idea for Heartbeat came just, I got to where I couldn't watch the news anymore. It was just so depressing to see kids dying in Syria and just, people's total lack of respect and for each other. And if you have an idea that's different than someone else, it's instead of just honoring the fact that we can agree to disagree or whatever, and just so much negativity going on in the world that we want to make a positive statement. And so we wrote a song about how one person at a time, each heartbeat can make a change in this world in a positive way. And, that's how we really want to present our album in general. That's a lot of it's written out of personal experience, but at the same time, we want to make a positive impact on the world. Musically, music is one of those things that transcends languages, it transcends everything, and it can make a positive impact on your life, I think the greatest thing that could happen to our music is just to see someone going down the street doing this, singing, Man of Action. That would make me very happy.
Oh, well, it's an amazing CD, and you can tell that you guys worked on it very hard. But you yourself, Pat, you have won a Grammy in the past. Talk a little bit about that.
I've been recording for I don't know, ever since even I was in high school, and that goes way, way back. But I've been working with a lot of Spanish artists. I live in Houston, Texas, and this area in northern Mexico is real big for what they call Tejano music. And I've been working with producers doing that for over the last 20 plus years. And so the 5 Grammy nominations came as a result of Tejano music. And then the Grammy came as a result of a CD that I played and helped arrange on by Little Joe and Eli Familia, which is one of the most well-known Tejano groups in history, really. And just an honor to work with them.
Wow. Wow. And that's how you got your Grammy, right?
So I got it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
That's
wonderful.
kind of cool, though. That's really cool.
What amazes me about your group is the fact that you are at what you said 3 different continents,
Yeah.
but the sound that you produce, it just shows, I think, what people how they can blend together when they work on a project. And some bands can't even do that when they're in the same studio looking at each other. So it takes quite a bit of talent. It says a lot for each one of the members of your band.
Well,
And
I appreciate that because I think you are right. And one of the things that I want to emphasize is that every note of that album is live music. Every note is played by a musician. Nothing sequenced. There's no loops. There's none of that. And so, I want to encourage all you guys out there and girls out there that are trying to start a band. Don't be discouraged. You get better about playing together. I mean, people think of the Beatles as this overnight sensation, but my gosh, they played 6 nights a week, 6 hours a night in Frankfurt, Germany, honing their craft, learning to play together and communicate to each other and learning how to write music together and living together and eating together. And you got to spend the time. You got to spend the time.
you're so right about that because, and I love the Beatles, believe me, but if you listen to some of their earlier songs that we were later able to hear that actually were played in the pubs in Germany and such, it's nothing like the Beatles that came to America or later what
That's
the
exactly
Beatles
right.
became.
They had to work on their craft.
Yeah.
I remember Steven Tyler saying something about that whole American Idol thing, and he says, "I just don't get it. They come on TV and they want to be a big star." He said, you go practice in the garage, and then you try to get a gig somewhere, and you stink for a while, and then you don't stink so bad, and then you're okay, and then you get better, and then you write songs, and then maybe you can open up for somebody, and it's a process.
Yeah, and they want
Right.
so many think that it's just this overnight thing. Oh, just put a CD out. No, get good first, get some fan base going, and then go out there and knock them dead. And I also I want to get back real fast on the fact that the meaning of your album, saying that you want to touch the lives of people throughout the world. I think that's such a wonderful, wonderful thing to do because music is universal. We play it here all the time, music from all over the world.
All over the world.
And it doesn't matter what language it is, it doesn't matter what language people speak. We're basically the same people. There might be different governments that are
Right.
over us,
Right.
but if we talk face to face as a person, you're going to find out we have so much in common. And I think that's a lot of, I shouldn't get into politics, but I think that's a lot of what the governments don't want us to realize is that we are people. And I think you mentioned that you had traveled.
Yeah, I traveled pretty extensively over the years. It's a real passion of mine, and I was just even recently. I've been all over Europe and the UK and all over the Mediterranean, and recently Israel, Spain, Italy, Portugal, and I was in Vietnam and Thailand and Cambodia and Malaysia not too long ago, and people everywhere, they're just so interesting, but we're all just a human race. There's only one race. I don't know how people come up with this concept of there's this race of people because back in the day they were Scotch and they were Irish and they were Italian, they were white. I don't even know what that means, being white.
I
So
know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but we're a human race, and to get the perspective of people walking on the streets and smelling the smells and hearing people have conversation or sitting at a table in northern Portugal with an English, an Italian lady and a French man and an English couple on the other side. and we're having this conversation about America. And it's so interesting to hear because the way they look at us is so different than the way we look at us. So
Exactly.
it's an amazing world. I think, one of the tough things about being in America is we're just so isolated from everything. And so
Yeah.
we don't have the means, it's really hard to travel because it's a long way and it's expensive.
Yeah.
But the
Speaking of,
internet has helped a lot.
yes,
I
it does.
think
Yeah.
people talk to each other.
Yeah.
So that's a good
Speaking of
thing.
traveling, Patrick, this is a question we usually ask towards the end, but of all the places you've been and all the people you have met, is there one incident that stands out or a person that stands out in your travels that just you're never going to forget?
I can honestly say that the most exciting thing that I think after I did it, I said, this will never be duplicated anywhere else. I was in the forest of northern Rwanda on the Ugandan border with Congo, and there's a national park there called Virunga National Park. It's 3 volcanoes, and that's where the silverback gorillas live. And there's only 700 left. You remember the movie Gorillas in the Mist? It's it's that same place.
Oh, okay.
And so I had the fortune of myself and 7 other people, along with 2 soldiers and a couple of guys with bush knives cutting through to actually go up into the jungle and sit with the silverback gorillas for an hour. And I don't know how to explain it. I mean, you're seeing there these unbelievable creatures. There's only 700 plus left in the entire world. And the little bear cubs and the little gorilla cubs around there and the two wives. But this guy was big. He was really, really big. And so, we had to stay very quiet and no flash. But we were only 45, 50 feet away. And our guide sees them every day. So they know him. So they're not afraid of us. And so every once in a while, he would stand up and you just look up at this massive, and he'd just let everybody know who's in charge here, And so they would move and we would move. And so I got to spend 1 hour, and I thought, this is the coolest thing ever. And so, nothing will ever top that.
Oh, no.
Oh no, my goodness. And we're like, what is the scientific thing? We're only like 2 genomes away from chimpanzees. I mean, that there's something to that effect that I thought, I went, wow. But, so they were very peaceful. They're very peaceful creatures.
Very, very peaceful. The kids would get curious, and if they started coming up, he would get up like this and look at us, and we'd back up. We just kept backing up, and of course our guide was very good about that. But you don't let them get close to you. There's no contact or anything like that. But,
Right.
Wow.
Right. We're not Jane Goodalls or anything like that.
I never thought in a million years I'd see something like that. So.
No.
Yeah, that is amazing. So, Patrick, you also have co-written music for, I believe, Jennifer Holliday. Is that correct? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, Jennifer Holliday. She's a gospel singer now, but at the time she was in the Broadway show Dreamgirls. And she had the main part there, and so Jennifer Hudson played her in the movie Dreamgirls. And I wrote a song for her called "I Never Thought I'd Fall in Love with You Again," and you can find it on iTunes. So if you want to check it out, it's one of my favorite songs that I've ever written.
Aww.
And the thing about that song, first of all, she's got this unbelievable voice. So I'm so honored to have someone sing one of my songs that just sings like an angel. And number 2 is that Michael McDonald wrote a song on that album, and Ashford and Simpson wrote a song on that album, and Philip Glass produced it. And the guy that produced my song was Tommy LaPuma, which he produced Neil Diamond and George Benson, Barbra Streisand. So, that's one of those, I had to put that one on the wall.
Well, that's wonderful.
It is.
And the other thing that oh my goodness, you have been on stage with so many interesting artists. I think Al Jarreau, Pointer Sisters. How exciting was that? That must have been great.
Yeah, we've opened up. I opened up for Al Jarreau and the Pointer Sisters, Patti LaBelle, Temptations, the Spinners, and then there was that Urban Cowboy age that came in when I was producing Mickey Gilley, that I got to also be on the same stage with Merle Haggard and George Jones and Conway Twitty and Juice Newton,
Wow.
Tanya Tucker, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and I mean that list is really long. But
Fascinating. I tell you.
Right.
But I
Do you
tell you,
have?
Carrie, I think right now we need to
Okay,
take a
we're going to take a
break.
break.
Yeah, and
Yes.
we want to play some music. We want people to
Yes, we do.
hear
Good.
some of this music. So here you go, folks. And we're absolutely going to let you hear Heartbeat of the World during this time also. Enjoy, and we'll be right back to chat with Patrick Hunt. Here you go.
Here we go again, the same old thing again. There always seems to be a problem. Why can't we work it out? Why won't you let me in? You know together we can solve it. Don't walk away from me now. We need to talk about it. We have to save this love somehow. We can't live without it. Whatever our problems may be, it still comes down to you and me. I said I'd give you a lifetime. I promised you. Do you remember when we were the best of friends and everything came so easily? Now something's changed. We're on a different page. How can you say that you would leave me after all that we've been through? How can we let this happen? Forever is more than just a word, and love is more than passion. Whatever our problems may be, it still comes down to you and me. I said I'd give you a lifetime. I promised you. Whatever our problems may be, this world a better place. Have courage and answer the call and help the whole human race. Hunger, disease, pollution. Will you be the world's solution? The heartbeat of the world is strong. Stop the hatred and doing wrong. We need peace to get along and share the message of the heartbeat of the world. The heartbeat of the world is strong. It's beating loudly through her children and her songs. Find the place where you belong to strengthen the heartbeat of the world. The heartbeat of the world is strong. Let's stop the hatred and doing wrong. We need peace to get along and share the message of the heartbeat of the world. The heartbeat of the world is strong. It's beating loudly through her children and her songs. Find the place where you belong to strengthen the heartbeat of the world.
Folks, I told you you would love the music, don't you? Isn't it fabulous?
Absolutely wonderful. And the new CD. Oh wow. Speaking of CDs, where can we find your CD to purchase?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of outlets. I'm not sure, iTunes, Amazon, Walmart, all that, just about everybody. Honestly, it's easy to answer. Where is it not going to be?
Right. Do you have a website that we can that they can also our viewers can?
www.world5.com.
Okay. Cool.
World5.com. You got that, folks? Nice and easy to remember. And
Right.
But your new CD is being released. What date?
October 7th,
All right.
Friday. Yeah.
That is going to be very exciting. So, are you going to have a CD party? Maybe that'd be kind of fun.
Well, actually, we're trying to figure out a way that maybe we can all Skype together for a change, which never happens, and then just say "Hey, it's been 3.5 years. Finally, we got it done." So it's been a lot of work, and I'm very happy with the outcome.
Wow. Well, it's a beautiful song. I really like "Heartbeat of the World." There are so many great songs on the CD. What is your favorite song and why?
My goodness. I have a couple. I mean, I always like Man of Action. I like the groove in it, and it's just an honest assessment of where I was at that time, in my life, or what it takes to be, be a good man, be accountable for the things that I have in life. And, it's the grass is not always greener for the other person. So sometimes you think it is. But anyway, it was a personal account. And I like the music part of it because it was my Toto era. So it kind of had a little bit of that. But the other one really is I Promise You. And the reason I like it because that was what was going on in my life at that time. And it was my marriage was falling apart. And, it's a musical pleading to my wife,
Yeah.
Well, it's a beautiful, I'm going to be real honest. It's one of my favorites. I love that song. I promise you, it's so beautiful and very touching. Uh, it's been such a fabulous talking to you. Where do you see yourselves in, let's say, okay, I'm going to make it short, a year?
In a year? Oh my
Sure.
gosh. I don't know. We're just trying to figure this thing out. It's like we've not even all met. So Randy and I have a long history. Joe and I have a long history. But it's, Raymond and Stefan, we've never even met. Our relationship has been strictly through Skype and emails. And so our musical relationship has grown over the years as we've learned to have that conversation and build on it. But, we've got it, and maybe hopefully we'll have all met by then.
Well,
Yeah.
I was thinking that, gosh, what if someone said, "Hey, we want you guys to go on tour with us through Europe or someplace"? I mean, would you all be able to get together then?
I think so, but I mean, that's a lot of things have to happen for that to happen because,
Yeah.
I'm still working.
Yes.
And my job right now is a worship pastor in the church. And so it's a full-time job. It's a big church. It's a lot of responsibility, and I have people that work for me. So would have to find a way to work that out, my vacation schedule or whatever.
Exactly.
But it's doable. We've had opportunities to play. But these are like, one time in China and one time in Florida, or it's like, God, we can't get together. That the logistics of that to play one gig is just not.
No, it would have to be something where you're actually touring.
Yeah.
Right.
We could probably work that out, but we're just kind of going to see where this goes. I mean, we've had quite a bit of airplay in Europe over the last years. We're on the charts already, and the indie charts over there. We have 3 songs on the charts over there right now.
Right.
So we've done fairly well there, but we'll see. Music has changed a lot, and but I'd like to say that ours is real music played by real people, and so and it's all about something. It's not just these willy-nilly, I can dance to it. I don't even remember the words, kind of songs. Not the words, right? So, it's just, I think it's good music played by good musicians with a good message.
And I see music coming, kind of doing a turn back, to tell you the truth. What I've heard recently, not all bands, but it seems to me that a lot of the bands are deciding that they are putting meaning behind the music. It's not just something that, you repeat the word over and over again and you dance to it.
Right.
And I think it's a great thing that's happening.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm hearing some artists on, I can't remember the guy's name right now, he's a young black man on YouTube, and he's got an album out. You probably know his name. I'm terrible with names. But, man, I mean, his material was just like listening to, early 70s R&B, and it was live, and you could tell it was live, and it had so much soul to it. That's what I love the term soul music.
Well,
because it really was soul music back then.
Yes.
But now it's all, you have a producer in the studio and he hires a programmer to come in. It's all electronic, and there's no heart in music anymore. So anybody out there, you guys, if you have a band, be patient, stay with it, and keep playing, because we desperately need you.
Yes, we do.
The indie artists, I mean, a lot of the songs that we play every day, there's a lot of that old time Motown coming back.
Yeah.
There's a lot of soul.
It was just such a great style of music, Motown. I mean, God, you love to dance. I grew up in the Deep South, so my area and South Louisiana and East Texas was what we call blue-eyed soul music. Where you had a bunch of, because I grew up in segregation, so the clubs, black people couldn't come in them, but they loved the music. So we played that music. When I was in high school, I was playing Otis Redding and Wilson Pickett and Sam and Dave and all those guys, and so then we finally integrated, and we got to go actually hear I snuck into a club when I was in high school to see the Shy Lights. I was the only white person in there, and my friend, he was with me, kind of make sure nothing had happened. But I love that music so much. I was willing to take that risk to go hear them, and it was awesome.
It is.
Exactly. I mean, that's where Elvis got his roots, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, he did. So I mean, even the Beatles, their roots were Chuck Berry, and people
Yeah.
like that. So I mean, yeah, the rhythm and blues changed everything
Right.
in America. So I have a lot of that in me. Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad to see the turn that it's taken again, though, because
Yeah.
for a
I love
while,
retro.
there. I mean, not that I don't like some of the. I'm not putting down any musicians at all, because everybody has their own style. But it just seemed for a while there were just certain types of songs that were coming out, and didn't have that much variety. But now we're getting it. Even the rap
Yeah.
songs are starting to intertwine with different sounds, which
Hmm.
is a lot different than when they first came out.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I think
Patrick,
that's one of the advantages. There's a lot of disadvantages, but I think one of the advantages of this big now everybody can do their own records from their house and all that stuff is you are able to experiment and do anything you want to do. There's no parameters. Your record company's not telling you, well, I need 10 of these. I need you to sound like this person.
Right.
You can do anything you want. And so part of our deal here was we really didn't care what anybody else thought about our music. We did it for us.
Yeah.
right.
For the sound, it sounded good you got the meaning out that you wanted to get out to the world
And it's
also.
independent. I think that's a big word that, a lot of people go, what, independent? That independent
Yeah.
music is fabulous.
I,
And like you said, you didn't have any restrictions. Like you have to produce a song that sounds like such and
Excuse
such.
me.
So I mean, your album is amazing. Your music is amazing. I just hope that we see more of your more music out. And let's tell the viewers again where we can find your music.
well, thank you. I listen. We're looking forward to having our music out, and go to your favorite whatever it is you download. It's, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever that is, and download our music. I'd love for you to hear it, and always enjoy talking to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
it is. It is great to have you back.
I know
Yeah.
it's such a unique way, and I don't think many people understand the complexity that goes into you creating this. That's why it took, like you said, 3.5 years to do. And gosh, I'm thinking, I know your music is starting to get some airtime on some different radio shows, and they're being heard throughout the world now also. So I'm hoping that anybody that watches this show and they love the sound just like we have, and they loved your concept and everything, will share it with other people.
Share.
Yes, please do.
Yeah,
Please do.
because word of mouth is so important. It is so very, very important.
Right.
And you said you played the keyboards with the band?
Yes, I'm the keyboard player.
God, I'm so lucky, Carrie. You know that's my favorite.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to take the CD now. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you happen to have do you have the copy of the CD yet?
I do not have a
Cover?
physical copy. No, not yet.
Have you got it?
Honestly, I'm going to be downloading it on October 7th, just like everybody else.
Oh,
So it's going to be a little
okay.
surprise for everybody, huh?
Yeah. It's going to be exciting because, like I said, Monica, the music is fabulous. The songs are amazing. Like I said, I have my favorites on the CD. So, future plans? You said something about a year. What's happening? Let's say 2 months from now.
2 months from now, we'll still be tracking probably the first single. At that point, it's kind of slow going. Because of the digital world and all of that, it just like everything kind of crawls at a snail's pace. But yeah, we'll still be looking probably at that and doing interviews and stuff like that, and we'll just kind of see where it goes, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
let us know
Absolutely.
what's going on, and if you're going to do any interviews or anything, so we can let other people know too. And
you got it.
you know,
You
because
got it.
I think other people that have seen our show before, they realize that this isn't about us at all. It's about the artist.
Well, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
And you know, when you find talent, well, we're lucky. We are so fortunate to be able to have music from bands like yours, groups like yours. What would we do without music?
Yeah,
Well,
amen.
horrible world we'd be living in.
Yes.
My goodness. I mean, yeah. I mean, the cavemen were hitting on sticks. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been here since day one. It's part of our DNA.
Yeah,
Right.
it is. We have to have it, you know, in dancing. You have to have that also. And I think that our guest is being quite humble because in all the accomplishments that he's had so far throughout his life, I mean, they've been tremendous. He's played with the best, he's worked with the best, and you'll see that as you've heard the music already. You know, it is way up there. So, Patrick, with that, I think Carrie and I are going to say goodbye. But
Okay, it was great. Great
yeah,
talking to you
I
again.
know you're really
Yes,
busy, but keep in touch and
please
let
do.
let the fans know what's going on. And folks, follow them. Go onto their Facebook page. Go onto the Reverb Nation. Anywhere you can find them, to their website, and share it. And Patrick, so nice to see you again.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. It's great seeing you two again.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Wow,
Oh,
Carrie.
wow. Amazing.
I
Woohoo.
just he's such, that's what I'm saying, he's too humble. Um I don't think people realize. I mean, there's Broadway people singing his music. He's worked with some of the top performers in
Yes.
history. We're not just talking about, you know, nowadays. Uh, we're talking about from Motown to country to the oh, what do you call it? What was the word that he gave for the sound that they're doing in Texas? But the techno something. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Eh, He's
Tex-Mex. A
yeah,
lot of Tex-Mex. Yeah.
Tex-Mex. Yeah, doing that. He's just very multi-talented, as is everyone in World 5.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yes. We absolutely urge you to check out their Facebook page, go to Reverb Nation, and check out our other artists. We have a wonderful website, www.itmattersradio.com, where you can find all kinds of information. You can find reviews, everything you can think of, and it's a great place.
Well,
But do
basically,
share.
one of the things that if people want to have a quick way to see a podcast, just you can go to our website, itmattersradio.com, and you'll
Mhm.
see a little YouTube icon. And if you click on it, it'll take you to our website on YouTube. And on that, you'll see playlists. And the one with our musical interviews is, of course, called Musical Guest Interviews. And you can listen to the many, many people that we have had on in the last few months and such,
Mhm.
and be able to listen to them, because a lot of times you miss shows. You know, when you stream as we're doing, you're on for that hour or whatever, and then it's over. Well, it's not. You don't have to miss a show. You can just go to YouTube. And also, we'd love you to follow us on Facebook. We want to hear from you. If musicians, we would love you to send us some music for our holiday shows.
Mhm.
And we'll be sure and get your name out there and tell them a little bit about you. We're looking for Halloween and holiday, which could be Christmas or it could be Hanukkah. It could be anything.
Mhm.
So please go ahead and send that in to us. You can send that to our website also. We have contact pages there, and we also have a page dedicated to submissions for the special shows. And
Right.
Punky's back, as everybody can see.
Yes. The diva. She always comes in, and it's so amazing, my friends, that she comes in and right at the beginning and right at near the end of our great music. She's got a sixth sense or
I
something.
don't know. She just wants to get her face in because she said she's Eva Kitty Cat. I don't know what it is, but it's funny. And guys, I want to remind you also, we're on 7 days a week with
Hmm.
music. It's called the It Matters Radio Indie Music Show. And
Hmm.
we are going to be presenting people that you won't hear on, the top whatever chart in the US right now, because these are people that are working every day to create a sound, and some of it's new sound, and
Hmm.
you're a lot of them are so much better than what you're going to hear out there on the FM
Yep.
radio, you
Yes.
know. And I invite you. It's at 7 p.m. every night. That's Eastern Time, US. And
Hmm.
like we said, you could go to the podcast if you miss it. And the only time that we have a different time is on Sundays, where you're seeing us now, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Time, US.
Right.
So, because we figure Sunday, people might want to spend more time with their family a little bit later. So that's why we have it on that time. But I hope you will absolutely share our show with others and
Mhm.
share our wonderful, wonderful guests, such as Patrick Hunt and World 5.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, join us 7 days a week, folks, and we love our Sunday shows. We always have great guests.
Yeah.
So do come back and join us for
Yeah,
sure.
and we have some more music to play for you, and,
Yes, we
and
do.
that's why we're here to bring you some music. So with that, we're going to say goodbye for today, and here is some more music from World 5. Hope you enjoy. Bye bye. Bye, Carrie.
Bye. Bye.
See us calling me across so many miles. I can almost smell the salty air. See your picture in my mind, it makes me smile.